Yo, welcome back everyone to the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering Autumn 2021. My name is Hud601. I'm taking over as host just for this run while we wait for our next host to arrive. Now, normally we are a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with COVID-19, we are instead bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. And do not forget that we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. And don't forget, 100% of your donations will be supporting Crisis, so please do keep them coming in, and we're going to try and raise as much money as possible. But now I'm going to hand it over to our next runner, Ozmourn, who's here to run Ape Out. Ozmourn, take it away.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Ozmourn, and today we're going to be playing Ape Out Warpless. I absolutely adore showing off this game at marathons, and to have it be at such a scale like UKSG, it's truly an honor to be here. And I'm super excited to get into the run. But before we do that, would my virtual couch care to introduce themselves, Enamel and Bowden?
Yeah, I'm Enamel. I also speedrun this game, although not to the speed that Bowden and Osmorn do.
Hey, I'm Bowden, and I play this game too.
Yeah. Bowden is actually the guy that made me get into this game. He currently holds a world record at a 25:43, and he actually had one of his old records being shown off at IGN Devs React, and that video kind of helped me get into this game. But without further ado, well, first off, I want to mention that for every death that I have in this game, I will be donating, let's say like $2 per death. I might increase that depending if we die really like, depending on like if we die like not that much. But let's get straight into the run with this first album, Subject 4. So without further ado, timing will begin when I hit start. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's do this. Bowden, do you want to help explain like the base mechanics behind Ape Out and how we're going to be using it throughout the run?
Sure. So there's basically only two things you can do besides walking, which is pushing and grabbing enemies. And well, pushing enemies, if you push them into any object, like a wall or a different enemy, they immediately explode. And if you grab them, you can use them as shields to protect yourself from other enemy shots. But also, these normal white enemies die in one shot as well, so they're not really that good of a shield.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's another different enemy right there. The guy in the blue coat. He has a shotgun, which is a little more dangerous than the normal enemy shots, because it can hit you a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's really hard to.
they're
Wait, go ahead, Bowden. Yeah.
they're also tougher. They can take I think they can take 4 shots from other enemies, so they make for way better shields.
Yeah, exactly. And right here we get introduced. Okay, that was weird. Right here we get introduced to a new enemy. These bomb guys. These bomb guys, if you push them into a wall, they will explode. However, their explosions will kill you in one hit. And I feel like the easiest way to die in this game is to like push a bomb guy into a wall and then get caught in his explosion, and then boom, you're just dead. And we don't like deaths in this game. It loses time. But speaking of deaths, there's speaking of time launch, there's one really crucial part of this game that we haven't mentioned yet. Enamel, do you mind explaining just how much RNG we have to deal with in this run?
Yeah, so the game is entirely made up of procedurally generated maze-like levels, so no two runs are the same. And in addition, all of the enemies are randomly placed as well, so you spend a lot of time just reacting to level layouts and enemy placements.
Yep, exactly. I've never seen any of the layouts that we're going to see today. There are certain parts of the game, parts of certain areas that are kind of like hard coded into the layouts, and we'll mention those when they come up. but for the most part, I'm just completely reacting on the fly to what I'm seeing, and you know, fast reactions and good improvisation, and you know, just good RNG is what it takes to get like a good time in Ape Out, and it can
And
be
the
a
RNG
blessing or a
can
curse.
yeah, it can be offset by, you know, player skill and just and good reactions and knowing how the level layouts are kind of constructed and how the enemies are going to react.
Wonderful. Well, that's the end of album, not the end of side A for album one. But Bowden, do you want to explain what we're going to be getting into in the side B of album one?
Well, after the first half of this next level, after the side transition, we will be going into a lights out, basically a lights out level for, well, 2.5 levels, or one level and 2 half levels, where the enemies can't see you except for in like a cone of light in front of them, but they react a lot faster when they see you in that cone of light, which means you can't just run straight up to the enemy and, you know, push them away, which you usually can do when the lights are on.
Mm-hmm.
So you're at a lot more risk of getting hit in these levels, especially in this one that we're getting into right now, Long Shadows. Also,
Yeah.
another example of some parts of the levels being just the same every time. You have to go either up or down at the start of this level every single time, and after that, it's random, which sucks.
Yep. But luckily, like, even knowing like just how long the levels are gonna last and knowing where those hard-coded obstacles are, it helps you react quicker and helps you like get a better knowledge of the game. And so once you have a relative idea of where the level is gonna go and where it's gonna end, then that can also be a huge time saver. But again, as Bowden said, these enemies react quicker in the dark. There's specific enemies that don't react quicker in the dark, but we're gonna talk about that when we get to it. For this small little area right here, we have these like, luckily there's like little barriers or little walls that we can hide behind in order to get some cover. And one of the most important things is just trying to have some kind of cover at all times. You know, wide open spaces are no one's best friend in this game. They're your worst enemy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of parts in this run we're gonna have to deal with wide open spaces. But we'll elaborate more on those as we get to there. And Amble, do you mind explaining what I'm doing in these level transitions?
Yes, so Bowden, sorry, Ozmourn is doing a butt sliding technique, and what happens there is the walls actually push the ape away from the wall slightly, but if you do it at the right angle, it will also push you forward and you'll gain momentum going through those hallways.
Yeah, the transition hallways are exactly the right width for you to like be pushed forward without getting out of the area where you like interact with the wall in the way where it pushes you away.
Okay.
Another speed technique that Ozmourn is doing is when you grab onto the big doors, the big gray doors that you're tearing down, if you let go and then re-grab, you'll actually open those doors faster.
That was scary. Okay, thank God. I was very scared that we were gonna die there, but luckily, no deaths.
No deaths in album 1.
It's the end of album 1. Good so far. I don't want to jinx it because every time that we have a good like first half of the game, I always die in the second half. So
we just don't talk about it.
Just don't talk about it, exactly. But right now we're getting album 2. Enamel, you want to explain the glitch that we're not going to be doing?
Yeah, so there is a cutscene skip here that is not marathon safe, and basically if you just hold the triggers down during the cutscene, we will skip what you're seeing right now. The only downside to that is if you die at any point in the first half of the album, then you soft lock the game.
Yeah, it's only around 10 seconds of time save, I think.
Yeah, it's about 10 seconds that you save from not doing that. Well, I mean, I think 10 to 15. But yeah.
I got shot twice there.
You can die very easily.
Yeah, let's not get shot. Simple as that.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
We'll be fine. I
Every level on this album is structured in 4 floors.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, they do that sometimes. They just shoot you from all the way across the map.
Well, you know
And
what?
this
That's
is why
why.
we don't do the cutscene skip.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would have softlocked there, and no one likes that.
It is not fun.
That is not fun at all. But it's okay. We actually died like relatively early into the level, so it's not too harsh of a time loss. Like if you were, oh my god, 2 dead ends here. Oh, you want to explain
Yeah.
dead ends, Bowden?
Yeah, there's a peculiar thing about this album, like, which is you can run into dead ends. They coded dead ends into this album specifically to make it feel more like an office building, which is, I mean, it's my opinion, but I think that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I get
But,
like the
yeah,
logic
the
behind
thought
it.
makes sense, but it sucks for speedrunning.
Oh.
So yeah. Also, the checkered rooms, if you ever see a checkered room behind a door, that is always a dead end, and you never want to go into a dead end.
That's a nice tell.
Yeah, also
keep-
those doors, those
Wow.
doors are almost always dead ends as
I keep
well.
pushing my luck because sometimes they aren't dead ends.
Sometimes you save like a good 5 seconds by going through one of those doors.
Yeah. But
Being
luckily
really
there's
poor
no
layouts
enemies
on
here.
this floor.
Wonderful.
Nice.
I was very afraid that we were gonna die there again.
Yeah. Oh, another 2 enemy types that are introduced in this album are the little green hat guys, the Melvins, that run away from you when you go towards them, and then like stop when you walk away, and then start shooting at you.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Really, really annoying enemies.
And what's worse
And
is that they
also-
like multiply later into the game. They come in packs later.
Yeah, that is. They come in packs on the certified worst level in the game. Certified by me personally.
All right.
So one thing we didn't mention is that the ape only has 3 hit points. With every level transition, the ape gets their hit points refilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember to go down.
I did remember to go down this time. I didn't remember to go. I didn't remember to go up in the practice run.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully we can remember to go up during level 9.
Everyone remind Ozmourn to go up when you see floor 9 appear on screen.
Yep. Oh, I heard a sniper shoot me as the level was transitioning. I golded that split. Wow.
Right.
That was nice. That's great. But that's the end of side A. Bowden, you want to explain a bit of like the new enemy that we see and a bit more of what we're gonna be doing in side B?
So on this different building that we walked onto on the last level when we were going down, the layouts are a bit different. The walls have like holes in them that the enemies can shoot you through. And also this sniper guy gets introduced to the game. He is annoying. He can shoot you from all the way across the map, but he shoots pretty slowly. And another fun fact is, he is just as light as the Melvin. So you can push him just as far as the Melvins.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Well, it does make sense that like all of the enemies have different weights, but I didn't realize the snipers and the Melvins are the same weight.
Yeah, they're the lightest enemies in the game. The bomb guys and the normal enemies also have the same weight.
Wait, we're supposed to go up.
Yep, we missed it again.
Well, we didn't miss it as much. Like I realized like halfway through. I went through like all the way. I went like all the way to the end in the practice when we did this before this.
This still counts as
I'm sorry, my dear.
You think you've learned your lesson?
I guess I made a mistake.
Hello everyone, we're just having a couple of technical problems at the moment with Ozmourn stream. We hope to get this run back shortly. Please do stick around, we will get this run back on track as soon as we can.
I guess I made a mistake. I'll remember it. I'm sorry, my dear.
All right.
Welcome back everyone, we're really sorry for that short intermission there. We just had a couple of technical issues with Ozmourn stream, but we do have Ozmourn back with us. We have paused the run and the timer, and we are going to continue from where we are. So Ozmourn, if you want to give us a countdown, and then please do continue.
Yes, I can. Yeah, let's just straight back into the run. Unfortunately, I did die off screen, so we'll count that as a death as well, just for the sake of charity. But the run will be resumed in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ah! Oh, I touched my number pad, and then the game switched to that's a keyboard. That's the downside of having like numpads as your hotkeys for labs, but currently low pressure. We don't really have a lot to say about low pressure. Is there a quick donation that you want to read while we get back to where you were?
We don't have any further donations at the moment, but I would like to send a big shout out and thank you to ESA for hosting this particular marathon. ESA, besides providing us with their channel for streaming, share their gear with us, their technical assistance, and their sponsors. And be sure to check out ESA's next event, which is ESA Winter 2022, and that's going to be happening sometime in February next year.
Wonderful. Right here, we're getting into what Enamel said. Like, we really do not want to take any damage here. We unfortunately took one hit, but we're gonna go into a really hard. We're gonna go into a really hard part, the lobby. The lobby is just wide open spaces, but luckily we can circumvent some of the dangers of the lobby by sticking to the bottom and or the top of the screen, where there's less enemies and more cover. But that seemed to be a really good lobby layout. Wonderful.
That was nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And that's it for album 2.
Yep.
And we didn't crash.
We did not crash.
No crashes.
I mean, the game didn't, at least.
Well,
Dang. If if the stream hadn't crashed, we'd be on PB pace right now. Dang.
it's unlucky.
So yeah, album 2 has a couple crashes in it that we luckily avoided.
Yeah, it can crash at the transition from side A to side B, and also on the transition from the 6th to the 7th
Forgot
level.
the spam there.
But it's much less likely to crash if you don't do the cutscene skip at the start.
Okay,
Looks like
this
you're
is
on mouse
album
again.
3. Yeah. I'm just like stopping the timer. I kind of screwed up my live split there, so I don't want to mess up.
Yeah,
I'll just trust.
doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, I'll just trust the UKSG timer. But anyway, we're going into album 3. And Emil, you want to explain a bit more about album 3?
Yeah, album 3, military bunker. The enemies are pretty densely packed. The very first part of this album is tight corridors, so it's not too much of a problem. But as we go on, the album will get much harder. And we also introduce the fire mechanic here, which if the ape catches on fire, then enemies run away from him, and you can use that to get through some levels easier. But you will take 1 point of damage if you catch on fire.
Yeah, and also the fire damage that you can take doesn't have the same cooldown on it as like normal shot hit of damage. So you can basically get shot and immediately run into fire and take 2 hits like in quick succession that way. It's a bit dangerous, but you can deal with it pretty easily.
Oh, this is too many enemies. So many enemies.
That was scary.
Yeah, nice work.
But now we're going into the hardest one for side A, Red Alert, because there's more wide open spaces. And as everyone knows, wide open spaces are your worst enemy. We just hate it a lot.
We love those.
Yes, we love wide open spaces. But here it is, the wide open space. Again, when you go to these wide open spaces, stick to the bottom, stick to the top. It can lighten your load a bit, make it a bit less dangerous to deal with enemies.
Apes and walls stick together.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, just avoiding line of sight with the enemies is kind of the name of this game, especially since, as we saw earlier, they can shoot you from off screen.
And can set you on fire.
Right. Luckily, we didn't die there, but we did get 2 hits because we got shot and then immediately put into fire.
Yeah, level's not over though. There's still this somewhat easier enclosed part at the end.
Yep. And there we go. Level is now over.
Nice.
We're gonna go into incoming. Bowden, you want to explain a bit about level 4 and kind of a bit about level 5, I suppose.
Yeah, well, this is the second lights out sequence in the game. It's a lot shorter than the first one. It's just 2 half levels basically. This one and the next one. But another interesting thing about this lights out sequence is that the new enemy type that got introduced in this album, the little machine gun guys, don't actually shoot any faster in the dark than they do like when the lights are on, which is really useful because you can still just run up to them and kill them.
Yep.
As you saw there, the normal guy shot him immediately, but the machine gun guy didn't shoot at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's intentional because it would just be pretty unfair to have these guys shoot at you before you can get to them, and they just hit you like 3 times and you die.
Exactly. But right now we're gonna go straight into side B for album 3. And Emil, you want to elaborate a bit more what we're gonna see for the rest of the album?
Yeah, so once we come out of the darkness here, we'll be in the open world, and again, open spaces and lots of enemies is a bad combination. Thankfully, there is some mitigation you can do by sticking, to the fence at the top or bottom, and there's rocks that you can also use to take cover from enemies. But this sequence can be really unfair with some of the RNG here. We also get introduced to flamethrower guys. They're kind of a non-issue. They can't really turn enough to hit you, and the flames move slow, so it's pretty easy to avoid.
This rock.
Oh yeah, those rocks sometimes spawn really close.
Oh my god, the game crashed.
What?
Oh, wow.
On that that was 5 to 6 on album 3, and the game crashes.
Oh my god. That's fine.
That
We'll
is-
just keep going.
Yeah, we
I'm
can,
assu-
but that's weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I've not seen that one before.
Yep.
I've only had
Luckily-
the game crash outside of album 2 once.
Yeah. I've had the game crash once during like an album 2 transition that wasn't 2.6 to 7 or 2.5 to 2.4. I'm just gonna bring the game back up. Hopefully it's looking good on my end. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. I'm
I've
looking
had
at
it.
the Twitch chat right
I've
now.
had it crash on album 4.6 to 4.7
Okay.
one time
Yeah, but luckily
on like a
I hope
decent
that we
run.
don't have to repeat that section. Okay, good. We don't. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Uh, but luckily we can just keep going. If this game can very easily crash in the middle of a run. So if the game just crashes, you can just keep the timer going. We don't penalize you for it. You know, it's completely out of your control. So there've been many runs on leaderboards where there is a crash. Alright. But Bowden, do you want to mention anything more about side B for album 3?
Well, you know, as we said earlier, it's just a lot of open spaces, and one more interesting thing, which I actually forgot about until just now, is when you come out of the dark area on the level, what is it, 5?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see in the rocks, there's like little white dots around the rocks. There are actually enemies in those rocks, and sometimes they can pop out of the rock. I don't understand why it happens, but I guess
I
it's like sometimes it does.
I don't know if maybe it has happened to me and I just haven't noticed it before. I haven't really
It's
noticed
strange.
it. Alright, wonderful. Okay, that's the end of Fury. And right here we're doing the last level of album 3, which is Burnout. And Burnout introduces bombs. Enamel, do you want to explain bombs?
Yeah, so the bombs fall from the sky right in front of your path. They are on a timer, and while a lot of the time you can just run through their explosion radius and not really have to deal with them, they also can be set off by things like pushing enemies into them or enemies shooting at you, hitting the bomb, especially the shotgun guys, and setting the bomb off when you think you are safe. So they can be really dangerous.
Okay, after these... We had, during the practice run I did just before this, we had like a really weird layout where there was like a building right here, and this level just had a really bad layout. But that's the end of album 3. Very nice. But there's still one more album left, and I think, how many deaths have we had so far? Have we died in album 3?
I think you.
No, 0 deaths.
Didn't
It says
die.
it.
That usually happens if you die on a different album. You just don't die on any of the albums afterward.
You only had 2 deaths so far. Strange. This can still sub 30, according to the UKSG timer that I'm seeing on the stream. If we're really quick, this can still sub 30.
You can do it, man.
But this is the last album of the game, and there's only 7 levels in this one instead of 8. But we have containers. I know Enamel loves containers, so I'm gonna let him explain this.
I do love containers, so and I especially love them when they line up all in a row on the bottom. So right here, we come out of the container. You can enter and exit containers. You can use them for cover. I especially like when there's enemies at the doors that you can conveniently turn into jam.
Yep, exactly. For the most part, this is actually a pretty nice 4-1 layout. Kind of just going, kind of just sharpshooting straight to the end. Just great.
It's nice when that happens. Feels really good.
Yeah. 4-2 has another mechanic. Bowden, you want to explain it?
So the lights actually turn off in this level for like a couple seconds at a time, but the enemies don't have their flashlights, which means they can't see you and they just shoot in random directions when the lights are out, which can be both bad and good because they can hit you from across the map even though they weren't even trying to, or
What?
they could hit.
Oh my god. The bomb guy got shot from the other side.
Yep.
By another bomb guy.
That is something that can happen, but you know, wasn't
Really
exactly
unlucky.
lights out. But
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah. That's the third death.
I'm playing it a bit safe here.
It's fair to play this level safe, honestly. It's really hard to predict what's gonna happen next, but you do want to just try to stay to the bottom for the entire run, because in the middle there's usually not a way through
What is
at
this?
all. So
Okay. I have no idea what is this layout? This is what happens when I don't stick to the bottom. Just this ridiculous layout ensues.
yeah, you have to. I don't know. It's like, you know, you take like a commute to work every day, and you like drive. You take one wrong turn, you don't know where you are anymore. That's like it's like that for me with 4-2.
Alright. But this is 4-3, Bowden's least favorite level, so I'm gonna give him the honor of explaining it.
This level sucks. It's not fun and it's not good. You have like little bundles of 3 of the Melvins, which are extremely annoying. You have to open 2 doors on this level, which in front of the doors is usually a very like large open space with a lot of enemies that you have to clear out before you open the door, otherwise you die. And also the pathways and little hallways afterwards, like between the doors, are really confusing. A lot of the times they don't go through, and it sucks.
Alright.
But we got through.
Yeah, and here we have the hardest part of the game casually, and we're going to turn it to the easiest part of the speedrun. And Namel, do you want to explain this trick?
Yeah, so at the very beginning of this level, the game sets your hit points to 99, and that is because there's an explosion, and it gives you some invulnerability. However, if you hit pause and restart the level, as soon as you see the guys on the other side of the door, you'll restart the level as normal. However, you will keep the 99 hit points.
Yeah.
One thing that we also didn't mention is that the ape moves faster when it gets damaged, so we're actually trying to take as much damage as possible. The exception being the rocket launcher guys, who are newly introduced in this level. They do 10 points of damage, so you can't take that many rockets, but everybody else can shoot you and speed you up.
I wonder, do the bomb guys also do 10 points of damage, or is it instant KOs?
Yeah, every explosion does 10 points of damage.
Okay. Nice. One thing that this is another example of like kind of choosing your battles, because you don't want to get shot by the rocket launchers too much, but they can legitimately help you if you get shot by them in this level. And another thing that I like to abuse is kind of purposefully killing the flamethrower guys here, so that I can just run into their fire. And when I run into the fire, all the enemies in front of me will just get out of my way, and it's great. This is a weird layout. Okay.
Yeah, the layouts on this level and the next level are kind of bad. You have to like go up and down a lot, but sometimes there's like a block in the way where you think, hey, there's no way down here, but you just have to go all the way around the block to get to the exit. It sucks, but if you if you know which direction you have to go for the last, like basically.
Oh my god.
movement.
Oh my god. I hate it. Yeah, it kind of goes like an up-down direction, and it can be. There are very rare instances where you can just go straight through. Like there's a small gap that you can just go straight through in, and we love it when those happen. But other than
I
that,
hate it when they don't happen.
yeah. But overall, not bad of a 4-6 here. And I think that I actually died here for the first time at BB. I got died here for like the first time in one of the practice runs, and so it just didn't. Like I got hit by a rocket launcher too many times, and that was just so shameful. But anyway, this is the last level. We're in a zoo. Bowden, you want to explain a bit? I can let both of you explain a bit more about the zoo. Just speak in whenever you feel like it. Go ahead.
Well, in the zoo, there's a lot of animals. in cages, and you can break the glass in front of the cages, and the animals will start running around and fighting the enemies with you, which is very helpful in some cases. But you know, if you were so inclined, you could also just free all of the animals in the zoo, which is it's nice to do. You don't get an achievement for it, sadly, but it's fun.
And Ammo, is there anything you want to mention about the zoo?
Yeah, I did that on my first casual run, freeing all the animals, and it made really easy work of the
Oh,
enemies.
and that's what it looks like to get shot by a tranquilizer dart.
Yes, I was going to say that the other enemy is the tranquilizer.
But
The last
actually,
enemy.
last new enemy in the game. But luckily, that's the end. Time will come up when the piano kicks in, the title card appears. So in 3, 2, 1, time. All right,
GG, Ozmourn.
that's great.
Nice, bro.
I think that was like a low 31. I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell, primarily because of the crash and also the stream crash itself. But that is I think like a low 31. I'm pretty happy with that. That was, how many deaths do we have? 3?
I think it was 3, yeah.
3. I'll be nice and triple that and just round up to 10. I'll donate $10 for the deaths that I've had today. I know I said to my commentators that they can match me if they wanted to, but if they just want to do like $1 per death, or if anyone in chat wants to match us, or anyone on staff wants to match us, whether it be $1 per death, $2 per death, or the exact same $10 that I'll be doing, anything that you guys can give to Crisis is going to be great. And also, I love this ending song. I never get tired of it. It's the thing that motivates me to finish a run. But other than that, that is Ape Out Warpless. If you want to speedrun this game after seeing this, or just buy it casually, it's on Steam, and you can check us out at speedrun.com. We're a very small community. I highly recommend trying to check this game out. I really am so thankful to be here at UKSG and have this really large audience in front of us, and hopefully with this we can get in some more runners. But other than that, I don't really have much to say. Bowden and Animal, is there anyone that you'd like to shout out, anything you want to plug before we head out?
Well, I just want to shout out Devil Squirrel, because he's the sole reason like how this run is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's found most of the glitches. He's also made the any percent category possible, which is the only reason why this is called Warpless and not any percent. And if you want to see a crazy Ape Out run, you can go watch an any percent run of this. It's pretty insane.
And Animal, is there anyone you want to shout out or anything you want to plug?
Yeah, really just the community. Bowden for being just such an absolute beast at this game and really grinding down both this category, I mean every category honestly if you look at the leaderboards. Double Squirrel for being the admin of the community, and like Bowden said, finding all of the speed tech as well as writing the auto splitter. Ozmourn for showing this game off. I really love this game. I'm really stoked that it's getting showed off here, and so thank you, and thanks for having me on.
Of course, thank you guys for being here so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon of UK Speedrunner Gathering, and get those donations in. Any amount of money will help. And good luck to the next runner. What is the next run? I completely forgot. I saw the schedule beforehand, but I completely forgot. What is the next run, Hud?
Not a problem. The next one is going to be Matthias bringing us Ratchet Deadlock.
All right. Good luck to the Ratchet Deadlock runners. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy that run and the rest of the marathon. I'm Ozmourn, and this has been Ape Out Warpless. We'll see you guys soon.
Ozmourn, thank you so much for that incredible run. Thank you for coming over. Even with a game crash, I think we're going to hand you your honorary UKSG passport for that one. You definitely earned it. Yeah, stick around everyone. Matthias is up next with Ratchet Deadlocked. I'm going to be handing over as well to Jack Apart, your host for the remainder of day one. So stick around, we'll be right back.
All right, wonderful.